FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. It's week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Robert Griffin III and the Washington football team taking on Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. They love their football in this part of the country, and this crowd is ready to go as their guys will match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Time for a much-needed and much-welcome diversion. The NFL is back. Here we go, week 1. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Wentz. And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their 2nd down call is going to look like now.
After the sack on 1st down, Wentz. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. And now it's 3rd down.
Incomplete. It's 3rd down.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the 1st. On 1st down, Wentz. Caught right side, it's Jeffrey. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a 1st down. The tackle by Matthew Ioannidis.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a 1st. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
9 yards. And an Eagle.
Wentz now on 1st down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Wentz to throw again. This will be caught just inside the 10. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. 1st and goal, a good chance for our 1st touchdown of the new season. Now Wentz again. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown.
complete to
Deshaun Jackson scoring a touchdown against his former mates. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive.
For the point after.
Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you get game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Roman on the return. Washington will take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Now it's Griffin. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, Griffin. That's caught by Trey Quinn. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the gun, it's Griffin. There goes a deep ball, end zone. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, 39 yards. And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half. There's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, where they want to let their return guy touch it.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This will be fielded inside the 5. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes the score 14-7. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This one fielded at the 5. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. So they get the 1-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. We remind you, lots more to come here in this opening weekend of the Return to Football 2020. Coming up later tonight, it's the national debut of SoFi Stadium in Southern California. The Cowboys and the Rams doing battle there. And then two more to finish off the week on Monday Night Football. The Steelers and Giants from MetLife Stadium and the Titans and Broncos from Mile High. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A big play there on the catch and run. And even 70 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Buying time to his left. He's good. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up first and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they were able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff. But, of course, that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From the 10. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. And the drive starts with a completion left side. And the ball is knocked out. Offensively, they're just not playing a very clean football game right now. This deficit, there's a fumble. Good news for them, at least. That went out of bounds.
You're exactly right. And as they breathe a sigh of relief, you know they're looking at the scoreboard, thinking to themselves, if we turn it over there, things could really get rough for us trying to make a comeback in this game.
Brought him down.
11 yards there. First down.
First down, Eagles.
From midfield, here's Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown.
Washington.
So this defense clicking early in the year, week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that'll increase their lead to 28. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Taken from about the 12. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Back now at FedEx Field. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The ball comes out, and this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. So they recover their own fumble. Now they face 3rd and short. From the gun, it's Wentz. He's going to let it fly, and unable to connect, incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Griffin going to throw it. Steps away to his left. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
And 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Takes it at the 7. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time, but it's going to be 2nd down.
2nd and 10.
To throw is Wentz. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
1st down, Philadelphia.
To throw, it's Wentz. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That catch good for only a couple.
2nd and 8 at the 44-yard.
One final try now for Wentz. This short throw caught by Goddard. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 9-yard line, 45-yard line.
Eagles 7.
A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Washington, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll hit.
Yeah, I use a dub, I'ma win, I won't lose with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. I turn the knob, camera assist, I'm incredible. Yeah, came for the dollars, call it vegetable. Then I did the dash, can I catch me, bro? Ooh, then I did the dash, can I catch me, whoa? Your whole team is no competition. Boy, I did it by myself, it's a solo mission. Running up the charts, I'm a fool, dog. Turn the whole field to a schoolyard. Bunch of students ain't eating round here. I'm the GOAT, little man, and I made it loud and clear. Put the gas on them like I'm with the Cavalier. Show no love, got the confidence, no fear. I use a dub, I'ma win, I won't lose with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Okay, yeah, can I hit that?
The players on your team earned XP. Quickly upgrade your team at the end of each game. Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
I use a dub, I'ma win, I won't lose with this. Ay, yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Ay, yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Yeah, 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 I'ma act a fool with this. Okay, yeah, yeah, when I hit that, okay, yeah, yeah, when I hit that, okay, yeah, yeah, when I hit that.
Today, from State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, it's Week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? From the 6. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Murray now on 1st down. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
At the 33-yard line.
On 2nd down, here's the option. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32.
Kenyon Drake.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the 1st. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Shotgun now from Murray. Murray fighting, lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. The 30, 20, 10, 5, and he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. Big boy earning his lunch. That's what you call rumbling with the ball, Charles.
Big man with football. He wasn't just earning lunch, Brandon. He was earning dinner. He was
midnight snack.
Everything that you could possibly do, he did it on that play to pick up the ball and go.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Takes it at the 7. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10.
So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. From the gun, he'll set up to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target. But it'll be 2nd down. Throwing again. Murray. And he'll go underneath here to Drake. And to the 36-yard line. Taken down there after getting 8 yards. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at 3rd down here. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Williams loses the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. So here's Washington now in excellent field position to start things out. And they're led out by their quarterback, the former Baylor Bear. It's RG3.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge.
After review of the play, the running on the field is reversed.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because...
Oh, now Murray has it stripped, and it's Washington that scoops it up, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. You think about it, Charles, this is not a quarterback that's used to running the football a lot. In that time, he was loose with it, had it knocked free.
He always has to think to himself that there's always going to be traffic around because of what you just said. Not that elusive, not going to get into the open field very often. Remember, he's not Lamar Jackson, not Michael Vick back in the day. Always has to protect the football because there's always going to be people around.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Incomplete. Peyton Barber was the intended target, and it's second down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
On the move to his left. And he's taken down inside the 30. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll roll him out right. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. And they've got 3 tight ends here on first and goal to add some extra mass. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Intended for Jeremy Sprinkle. Incomplete. Brings up second and goal.
They'll go again from the 3 here on second and goal. From the shotgun, Griffin. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Juju Smith-Schuster in the final seconds of the first half. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. 4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. A fairly short kick from the 14. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. So and now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward the beginning of the second half. So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
On the return, Washington takes over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
So here is Washington now to take over. They were victorious a week ago over Philadelphia. They lead here as well as they start out first and 10. And now the second active leading rusher in the NFL, it's Adrian Peterson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
He's across.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in.
Griffin's pass complete to Jeremy Sprinkle.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off. Similar to a shooter in basketball who just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 12-yard line.
It's a gain of 17 yards. First down, Washington.
Now Griffin on first down. Dancing to his left. And he's going to keep it here. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington.
Touchdown.
RG3 with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And Washington going to add on to their lead.
On for the extra point.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me, and they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock too with a drive like that, so you really give yourself an advantage.
A fairly short kick from the 14. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. He goes underneath to Drake. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Throw left side complete. That's Drake.
Kenyon Drake.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Right back to him for 10 more and a first. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And this is caught at the 8. Williams loses the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up.
Pass complete. Fumble on the play. Recovered by Washington.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. So they need to determine
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Larry Fitzgerald. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cards use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Extra point.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
7.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. And this will be recovered by Washington, and that should just about do it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
And this is caught. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his second touchdown on the season. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
On the return, the Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes team...
And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Out of bounds, the offense retains possession.
Second and short now following the fumble.
It's our time. It's our time. 56 the mark, boys. 56.
From the gun, Murray. Fitzgerald's got it right side. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Murray, one final try. Now a desperation throw deep. That's caught inside the 20. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. So it's Washington getting the victory here. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This is the type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
Boy, you the op and your bros hating. All of them fake, I see both faces. Scared of the whip, it's a ghost racing. I knock them down to their cold cases. Marathon run, I'ma slow pace it. They did not want me to go places. Foil plans like the gold place. And if we pulling up with the whole squad, I get ready to told y'all that you better be running. I'm in my go yard when I walk in, I know y'all telling me nothing. I'm the man. Suck it if y'all in denial. I get the chip on them and I bust out the south side. Is that big of the guy? Boy, yo, stop it, quiet. If it's new, I done got it. See my jewels, shining, shining. White diamonds, Miley Cyrus. Private jet, private pilot. Look at me, stylish, stylish. Masterpiece, body, young. Hey, I don't know no better. I'm on this.
Today, from First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, it's Week 3 of the NFL on EA Sports.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. Now Donovan Peoples-Jones. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Mayfield to throw it. And oh, right away, he lost the football. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. Able to fall on it, but look where they recovered it. That's a big loss.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
A breakdown defensively there as the scramble is going to set them up with a much more manageable third down.
At the 36-yard line. 13 yards on the play. Brings up third down.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He'll get this one underneath to Hunt. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. Their opening drive here is going to result in a punt. They got 7 yards there, but not enough. On fourth down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Greg Stroman back deep for Washington. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that had far too much air under it. It's out of the back of the end zone. And the football will come out to the 20-yard line. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. They'll be led out by their enigmatic quarterback, the Heisman winner from Baylor. It's Robert Griffin III.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
Throwing again on second down. Griffin slings this deep from McLaurin. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
Play action. It's Griffin. Fourth, and he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after one. Throw here's incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him. And he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really...
And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Juju Smith-Schuster. His third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Peoples-Jones returning. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
On the return, the Browns take over 1st and 10. At their own.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Off the edge, the sack by Matt Ioannidis. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Another try after the first down sack. Mayfield. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Nick Chubb, second leading rusher in the NFL last year. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Well, I think it's back to the drawing board, or should I say in today's game, the Surface tablet after this drive. 3 plays, they go backwards. They look like they've gotten something going right there, but they'll have to punt the football away to end this one.
It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that'll be incomplete as it's knocked away. But a penalty flag is down. So who's this going to be on? So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
This clearly the final play of the half, but no field goal attempt. They're going for it with 3 seconds remaining. Out of the gun, Griffin going for it all. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington.
To number 17.
Terry McLaurin as time expires in the first half. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further.
Justin Hopkins on for the extra point.
CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second.
14.
And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this week 3 matchup. So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. They juked him. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Washington will take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
So here is Washington now to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl quarterback Denzel Ward. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. 1 play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage. And
Jarvis Landry past the 20 and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry, his first touchdown of the new season. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points.
For the point after.
That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game. And oh, it's blocked. And now Washington has it. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Defense.
I remember when they changed the rule And there's a lot of consternation, especially coming from the kickers. Okay, how is this going to affect things, having to kick a longer one now, much more of a field goal attempt, and the defensive guys saw it as an opportunity to get more blocks.
That's exactly right. There's more effort now. Before, when it was snapped down near the goal line, you would basically see guys just stand there.
Yeah, not anymore. Now, those guys are going after it because not only can they knock it away and change a little bit of momentum,
and get 2 points.
They can pick it up and take it back for 2 points.
From the gun, Griffin slings this deep for McLaurin. They've got his man complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Donovan Peoples-Jones on the return. The Browns take over 1st and 10.
Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Now a play fake here on 1st down. They'll let this go for the end zone. And this one is incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. The lone second remains now in this 3rd quarter. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. And we're back now here in Cleveland.
Washington 14.
It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. On 3rd down, Mayfield. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. Well, you can see what they were trying to do, just send those guys out there to make a play, but that is a costly interception.
Yeah, that's kind of like the backyard. Everybody go deep, and let's see if we can find someone. 4 verticals in the route. Any other time of the game, I love the call. But here, you're not going to hold safeties, you're not going to hold corners with any looks because they know what the situation is, ends up throwing the interception.
After the interception, here's Griffin. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Griffin going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
Now, that was a high degree of difficulty on that one, but to me, it goes back to fundamentals and determination. High point the football and declare it yours.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, he tried to get rid of it. Pressure was coming right in his face, and it turned out to be a bad thing.
And it's so easy to be critical of him in that spot. When you have all those people bearing down on you, probably his last thought was just get rid of the ball. Give them what they want. Unfortunately, he gave it to them too well. Picked it off, ran it back for a touchdown.
Following the interception, Mayfield. And it's caught. And with it, we are tied here in the 4th. Huge conversion there to tie this thing up, but they're not done yet. Their defense needs to get a stop.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time for the O team to come downfield and put some points on the board, but job 1 was taken care of. The 2-point conversion to get this thing tied.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. And the safety, Carl Joseph, there to knock that one away.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
All told, a 54-yard punt, 13 on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get in the field goal range. Look at the clock, a decent amount of time. Now Mayfield lost the football.
Robert Griffin sacked. A fumble.
Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands? Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
On 3rd down, here's Hunt. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Fielded just outside the goal line. Oh, a good return up past the 30.
Roman on the return. Washington will take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Slings this deep from the... That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. A huge play there in overtime, and even 40 yards. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
And this will be caught. It's a touchdown. And absolute stunned silence here as they have come in and stolen this one in overtime.
Our final score.
Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Washington, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Browns,